Nelson Castillo is an attorney and an expert on immigration law. He joins us now in the studio. Nelson, thank you for coming in.
Welcome.
I just want to get into the weeds a little bit here. If you look at some of the questioning that was laid out today by the justices, would you say, just by listening to the questions that some of the justices were asking, that Obama's executive order here is in trouble?
Oh, they were asking some very good questions because first and foremost, they need to determine whether they're standing, whether the states have a right to even be in court. If they can't overcome that hurdle, the game is over for them. So there are 4 different issues that they looked at, but the standing issue was so very paramount. And of course, as you said, whether the actions of the government are legal or not, we also discussed.
So this issue of standing, talk to us a little bit about that and how, where the line is and how clear the line is in terms of states' ability to challenge the federal government.
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court is looking as to whether there is actual injury to the states, and what the states are saying is that if this is implemented, it's going to cost them a tremendous amount of resources to give driver's licenses because they're subsidizing at this particular moment driver's licenses in Texas. So they're going to be injecting hundreds of thousands of people possibly to take advantage of driver's licenses. But the government is saying, well, you know, you're giving the subsidy. You don't necessarily have to give a subsidy. You can charge.
So the injury is self-inflicted.
It's self-inflicted, and therefore you can remove that. And that's obviously where the court is going to have to decide whether there is injury or not. Because if there isn't, again, there is no standing and there is no lawsuit.
Okay, we've got the situation, though. These are mostly Republican states which are taking this action against the Obama administration. When the justices look at the executive order that the president made and whether it's lawful and whether it exceeded his authority, do they take into account the context at the time that the president was essentially facing congressional deadlock on the issue of immigration, and so, you know, in their defense, I guess, he was forced to take some action? Or is it purely on the matter of law?
It should be on the pure matter of law.
But are they influenced by that?
Well, of course, they have their own ideology, most likely. But my hope is that they are looking at the law, and that the law, they are constrained to what the law says and what they cannot do and can do, the government. The main question after getting over the standing is whether does the government have the legal right to do this. And of course, the government is saying that we've been doing it over the years. We've been helping people with this deferred action program over years, millions of people over a year. And if you allow me to have that power, because for instance, in terms of the deportation, I can deport 11 million people. You're only giving me enough money to deport 400,000. So allow me to decide who I'm going to deport or not and have priorities. And deferred action, to a certain extent, is just that. It's, you know, I'm not going to move against you. And while you're here because I deem you a low priority, I'm going to allow you to work and give you a work permit, because otherwise you're going to be unproductive, and who's going to be maintaining you? And, you know, it's going to create all these challenges for that.
Looking at the composition of the court right now, split evenly between liberals and conservatives, when you look at it right now, is there room for compromise here, or do you see this coming down to a split decision and going back to the courts, the lower courts?
Definitely, there's room for compromise.
But can you anticipate it, looking at the way this court is set?
From what I read today, I read the entire transcript. I got the sense that the court is evenly divided at this particular moment, and it's probably going to be a miracle that there's going to be one of those conservative justices that is going to move to the camp of allowing this to move forward. That's how I sense. But then again, you know, there's been surprises in the past. And Chief Justice Roberts specifically, he's very, very thorough. He's very pensive about all these issues. And standing is very crucial for him because, again, he doesn't want to open the floods. And even the other justices mentioned, they don't want to open the floods to just anybody be suing the federal government because they don't necessarily agree with it.
So essentially, just very quickly, just to recap, this entire issue, in your opinion, is now essentially resting on whether or not Texas has a standing to bring this case, and that's not looking positive at this
standing
point.
And legal authority by the government, those two things. There are two other issues, again, whether they gave proper notice and comment to the American people, and of course whether the government, the President of the United States specifically, is faithfully executing the laws.
Okay, Nelson, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate the explanation.
Yeah, exactly. It's a murky business. Thank you.